All right. Hi again. It's good to see everyone. This is the time to get all of those comments into the chat feature. We gave our presenters the option of doing this live or doing it pre-recorded. And Allgood Chiropractic, they have been supporting the Bloom event for, gosh, at least the last 4, maybe even 5 years. I'm pretty sure since we've been having it at Baylor Scott and White. So this one, while it is pre-recorded, if you have any questions, we will be funneling those up to Dr. Allgood. Chiropractic is a really incredible option for little ones. I know that the partners in parenting were just talking about it as well. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give the reins to Dr. Allgood.
Hey guys, I'm Dr. Jimmy Allgood with Allgood Chiropractic and Family Wellness Center. I'm a pediatric and prenatal chiropractor here in Steiner Ranch. We are located just across the street from the Oasis and by Mansfield Dam, kind of Lakeway area if you guys don't know where Steiner Ranch is. If you guys want to look us up online, allgoodchiro.com is our website. You guys can track us down, get a little more research about us. Let me tell you guys a little bit about me, my wife, and kind of why we do what we do. I'm originally from Leander, which is, again, just a suburb of Austin. I went to Leander High School, played baseball, played football, went to college and played baseball, and eventually ended up in chiropractic school. I was originally injured when I was about 12 years old playing baseball, and I saw a chiropractor for my injury. I was injured to the point I almost couldn't move my legs, and the road after that was looking pretty dark, and the chiropractor got a hold of me, and he did a good series of adjustments, and got my whole life kind of turned around to where I was better than I was before, and I had really lost a sense of what normal was and just dealing with pain. So he was able to kind of just change my whole perspective on life, and I said, man, I want to do that. I want to change someone's life, and going down this road I've done that tenfold over, and I'm really convinced I have just the best job in the world. I get to love people. My wife has a very, 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 very similar story. She was a Division I softball pitcher in Louisiana. She kind of dedicated herself to helping people, and she saw pregnant moms and babies kind of going through chiropractic care and saw what it could do. So she decided to enroll in the same school as me up in Dallas, which was at the time the #1 chiropractic school in the world. I'm sure it probably still is. I haven't checked the rankings, but so we ended up meeting in chiropractic school, got married, and we decided we're going to move to Austin and open a chiropractic clinic, and we did. So I started seeing the general kind of public and sports base because I wanted to have this awesome sports practice, and she wanted to have a pediatric and prenatal practice. So we said, hey, we'll see everybody. And when she started seeing these pregnant moms coming in full of joy, and we saw them throughout their whole pregnancy, and then they started bringing in these beautiful little babies, and we'd see these babies get adjusted and having these healthy and happy lives. It was very easy for me to forget about Billy Bob's twisted knee or ankle or low back injury or headaches or stuff like that. I wanted to put my vision on that beautiful baby and that healthy pregnancy that mom was coming in to see us for. So here I am. I'm talking to you guys, and I so badly wish that I was with you in person so I could get to see your beautiful faces and these beautiful bellies you guys have and this gift that we've been given. But unfortunately, you just got to put it with me through the screen. So let me tell you guys what a chiropractor really does. Most people think a chiropractor twists necks, twists backs, yanks, pops bones, and is actually kind of violent. That tells me you guys have probably been watching a little bit too much YouTube. If you guys look at YouTube for chiropractic, it's an awful representation as to what chiropractic really is. What a chiropractor really focuses on, the real nuts and bolts behind chiropractic, is the nervous system. We know that the brain controls everything in the entire body. It's the supercomputer. It controls everything. For you guys to be able to hear me right now, there is a nerve that comes from the ear that goes directly into the brain that'll perceive in wavelengths the sound I'm giving you. It'll tell it if it's English. It'll tell if it's French. It'll tell everything that's going on in terms of sound. We take your heart, for example. There's a nerve that comes from your heart that goes to your brain that tells it how fast to beat, when to beat, how strong to beat, how slow to beat. It'll tell the blood supply from the heart to go back to the heart so that we have a blood supply to the heart. Your gallbladder has a nerve that goes to it, your digestive organs, your lungs, even your nails, your hair. There's nerves that tell every single cell in your entire body how to function, when to function, and what to do. All of that information comes from the brain. How does it get there? The information from that brain needs to go through the spinal cord and then out and distributed to wherever your body said this is where it needs to go. It's the most wonderful, beautiful thing I've ever seen. When I was in school, we did cadaver lab, and it was the most exciting thing for me in the world to see this roadmap of communication and how we're able to affect it. So let's talk about information to and from the brain. We know the brain goes to certain organs, but we also know that information comes from the body to the brain, and that's how it's able to get its communication. So let's take, for example, if a patient has numbness and tingling in these two fingers specifically. Usually numbness and tingling in these two fingers is part of what's called the ulnar nerve. So we'll trace that nerve here and go through the hand all the way through the funny bone, through the back of the arm and to the base of the neck. So if a patient comes to me with numbness, tingling in these two fingers, I go straight for the neck. Not like a killer type sense, but we usually take an x-ray of that neck and we'll try to find an issue in that area. And 9 times out of 10, there's a bone that's misaligned, that's got pressure on a nerve, that's creating this numbness down the leg, or down the arm, I mean. And so if we can do a correction of that bone to get it where it needs to be, get pressure off the nerve and allow the brain to kind of communicate properly through that area, we can almost always get rid of that numbness in the hand and even allow better strength and function to the hand and arm and everything upstream. So the same is true if we have a restriction kind of in this area, the mid back and then the low back, and then by the time we get down to the bottom of the spine, there's usually not a whole lot of communication because it starts from above and it kind of works its way down. So my job as a chiropractor to kind of help you guys is to just really analyze and correct the nervous system. It has really nothing to do with pain. We are very, very, very good at getting people out of pain. We're even better at getting people's nervous system to work correctly. If your nervous system works correctly, you don't have any pain. I mean, that's so far on the bottom of the radar here. You don't have allergies. You're able to perceive your environment better, and you're able to identify different pathogens, viruses, and things like that. You don't get sick. Your body's immune system functions at 100%, not 90, not 70, not 80, 100%. And you definitely, I mean, your body just kind of feels and functions better. So if you guys take nothing else away from this talk, just know that you need to get your spine checked out because there's a good chance you're missing out on a whole different aspect of life just from this nervous system not working at 100%. Now, how does that apply to pregnancy? So in pregnancy, the big focus are the hips. I mean, the hips, Shakira said it best, right? The hips don't lie. So we want to focus on the hips and make sure these things are rocking and rolling the way they need to be. In pregnancy, usually in the first trimester, at week 14, it hits its peak. There's something called relaxin that gets released. Maybe you guys have heard of this. It's a hormone that your body produces. But the job of this hormone is to relax tendons, ligaments, and muscles. It just makes these things loose. That way your pelvis can really expand. But that hormone doesn't just go to your pelvis because it doesn't know to go straight to your pelvis. It goes to your shoulder, to your neck, to your wrist, your fingers, your knees, your ankles. It goes everywhere through your entire body. So the whole time through your pregnancy, your body's kind of doing this kind of shift. Sometimes the bones in the spine are kind of moving around. And so often in pregnancy, a bone will shift in the low back because we usually sit down a bunch. And it puts pressure on a nerve and it creates such pain in the low back that it sends this numbness down the legs and we call it sciatic pain. Now, moms usually just kind of deal with it throughout their whole pregnancy. And if these hips are kind of twisted or yanked or torqued from the pain and contraction of that spine, it usually will create a bad delivery. So if nothing else, if you guys take nothing from this, pain is a heck of a motivator to go see a chiropractor to make sure that you have a pain-free pregnancy and a healthy delivery because the hips are exactly where they need to be. Now, let's take that a step further and let's talk about the baby. As soon as that baby is born, their head is usually turned to the side and sometimes they're yanked out or twisted out. Sometimes forceps are used, sometimes there's vacuum extraction. But regardless, sometimes that baby is forced out, and even if they're not, that baby's head is turned and there's a heck of a lot of force that's being applied and a lot of trauma to that head and neck area. Earlier the better. We want to take a look at that baby's very, very first bone in the neck because that first bone, the brainstem actually goes right through that first bone. And if that first bone is rotated even a little bit or twisted, it puts a ton of pressure on that nervous system, specifically at the C1 region, and it'll create things like colic or ear infections. It can create really bad allergies. It can create latching issues with mom and baby. It can create developmental issues in terms of the spinal cord and the nervous system. So that first bone is so important. Now, whenever I said adjust baby or check that first bone, a lot of you parents might have cringed a little bit because you think of a chiropractor kind of twisting your baby's neck. The adjustment, even with a pregnant mom, is so gentle. With a baby, I have some pregnancy pillows. Let's see. So here is a pregnancy pillow that we use, and it's got a big hole kind of cut out in the middle, and we will lay a baby right here in the middle of this pillow, and we'll kind of gently just assess their spine. Sometimes the baby won't let me, they're really kind of fussy, and we'll put them on mom, but we'll just feel the spine, and I've trained my fingertips, I've done this so many times that I'm able to tell when a bone is misaligned just by kind of feeling. We'll look at the range of motion, we'll look for swelling, and the adjustment is so gentle. We'll hold the bone, and we'll hold it until the ligaments and the tendons kind of fatigue, and the bone will just kind of move itself. So the amount of pressure we use is about the same pressure you apply to your eyelid before it gets uncomfortable. Not painful, uncomfortable. So it's very light, gentle touch on a baby's neck. And the same thing through the spine, it's very gentle. There's no twists, yanks, pops, cracks, anything like that. With a baby, it's extremely gentle. Even with mom, there's no twists, yanks, pops, cracks, anything like that. Our primary focus is the pelvis to get that thing exactly where it needs to be. So usually I'll have moms lay on this table right here. I'll have pregnancy pillows laid out here. It's the first time mom can actually go face down in forever. They're usually crazy excited to do this. And the baby's sitting in an amniotic sac, so there's no crazy amounts of pressure on that baby. They're sitting in a nice big fluid-filled sac, so they have lots of room. They're very comfortable. It's not there's no harm done to the baby by laying on these things face down. So we will check the pelvis from right here, and we're able to kind of do our adjustments right here. There's usually just tendons and ligaments that we're applying pressure to, and just by doing that, these simple things, we're able to get this hips kind of turned back. Now, in pregnancy and chiropractic, we practice a specific technique called Webster's technique. Some of you guys have probably researched this and heard about it. Webster's technique is pregnancy specific and getting the hips in a biomechanical optimal position so that you can have a good, healthy pregnancy. With Webster's technique, there's a kind of an asterisk next to it. Webster's technique has a very good and success rate for getting breech babies to turn. Now, why I don't turn babies, I'm not a baby turner. We have a very good rate for getting babies to turn through this technique. So if a mom comes to me and they're 35 weeks pregnant, there's a really good chance we're not getting that baby to turn. And it's just because their hips are in such bad position usually that we usually can't get that hip to turn back in terms of giving the baby the best space possible for that baby to turn. So usually the moms that we're able to kind of prevent breech babies or even get babies to turn is usually the ones we're seeing for a long period of time, and the whole mindset behind it is to give the much room as possible for that baby to do what it needs to do. Whenever these babies are breached, usually the pelvis is in a bad position. That baby wants to turn, it just can't. There's just not enough space for it to turn. So anywho, guys, if there's any topic that kind of struck your curiosity, or you guys had any questions, or you guys wanted to ask me something specifically, feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, our website is allgoodchiro.com. My email is allgoodchiropractic@gmail.com. Feel free to shoot me an email. It goes straight to my cell phone. I can get back to you pretty quick. I'm usually pretty good about that stuff with my patients. I have a passion for serving my community, for serving my pregnant moms and my babies, and really just kind of making this place a better place. If you guys look in your swag bags, we included something that looks a lot like this. This is a gift certificate that we use for the general public whenever we want a certain group of people to kind of come into the clinic. This is a chiropractic examination, which includes x-rays if necessary, a report of findings, reviewing your results, and a relief treatment for $50. Now, I almost never, ever take x-rays on my pregnant moms unless there's a suspected broken ankle or a broken bone per se. And even then, I pretty much need them to prove it to me that it's broken before we go in and double, triple check. So if you guys show up in the clinic with a big belly, and you're pregnant, of course, and you have one of these, your visit will be absolutely free because I'm not taking x-rays of you guys. That $50 really covers my cost for x-rays. If you guys show up with one of these, it is $0. And that is my gift to you, because I want to make sure that your hips are there where they need to be and that you have the best possible pregnancy, period. If you guys learn anything, please give us a shout out. Love to hear from you. And thank you guys so much for watching this event. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. Have an awesome day, guys. Bye.
The opportunity for some of our presenters to pre-record, so that is what he did. But he's got so much information. It's all good stuff. So I dropped his email address. This is the time to comment. I know someone said we weren't giving you guys enough time, so this is the time to get your comments in. We are snagging all of those very quickly so that we can get you entered into the giveaways, which, speaking of, I'm going to go through some of the giveaways and swag bag items that you can expect. So we have got Capital Cruises. They're offering a private sunset bat watching cruise for 6 people. We've got a huge gift basket from Paleo Powder. We've got a gift basket as well from Flat Track Coffee. Say that quickly 10 times. And then we've also got 1 month of Body Back Boot Camp from Fit for Mom Sunset Valley. Rachel is actually a former team member of ours, so we love that. We've got the Frankie Cameron diaper bag. If anyone was watching our Facebook Live last night, we featured that. I love it. You just asked if you didn't have enough time. It's okay. We'll be capturing y'all's information and we'll put it in there twice. So don't even sweat if you missed commenting in any of the other webinars a second time. Don't worry about that. Burn Boot Camp is also doing a 3-month membership, and they're doing it for their Round Rock as well as their Lakeway location. So we will actually have 2 winners there. And then we've got 2 weeks to Yoga East Austin. We've got a play gym from Love Every. It's like right over there in my office. And then we've got a towel, and it's actually a really big beach towel from Tesla. So lots of good stuff coming up for giveaways. Swag bag, every single swag bag is going to have a voucher for $40 off from Love Every. You'll also have either a facial or a massage. You won't know which one you'll get from Kaleology, but it's worth $100. Guys, this was a $25 ticket. So hopefully you guys are really excited about your swag bags that you'll be getting next week. Primally Pure is putting deodorant in every single swag bag, as well as a free month of bows from Little Poppy Company. Humble Brands, you're getting a travel stick deodorant. Clearly, we want to make sure you guys smell good. Free Mush overnight oats from Mush. Crane is putting coupon. Crane is actually, they do humidifiers and some other items. And then Aura Rainwater is putting a bottle of water. I'm looking at a whole case, lots of cases of Aura Rainwater. So with that being said, thank you for joining us. We're going to hop over to go ahead and visit with Dr. Sarah with Lone Star Pediatric Dental and Braces. And then after that, we are going to give y'all about a 10-minute, coffee break and all the things. So thank you so much. We will see you soon.